Welcome back to Folder Decoder. In this series, I choose a chip folder that I've personally used throughout the Battle.Narc series, or that has been suggested by viewers in the comments to highlight in a video. The idea is to break down each folder to see which chips go in the folder, and to see how each folder works, then show off the folder in-game. Keep in mind that the folders I feature in this series are not intended to be used in PvP matches. Net battling online is completely different from playing through the story and post-game content of each Battle.Narc game, and while I do have some knowledge of PvP in Battle.Narc 6, I don't have enough knowledge in the other games to recommend any PvP folders. With the disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about one of the best Battle.Narc 3 folders, based off of one of its worst navis. I'll be honest, I'm usually one of the first people to talk about how much I hate Bubbleman. He's cowardly, his V3 fight only happens if your HP is at 25% or lower, and that makes the fight itself way more annoying due to all the bubbles that spawn in it. But defeating him gives you an amazing reward in the Bubbleman series of chips, which are some of the strongest in Battle.Narc 3. These chips are the main damage dealers of this B-coded folder. In addition to the Bubbleman chips, this folder needs to have 4 copies of Aqua Plus 30. Even a single one of these chips drastically increases the damage of the Bubbleman chips, since they're multi-hit chips, hitting enemies 6 to 10 times depending on the version you use. The only thing you really need to worry about with this folder is obstacles or shields that can block Bubbleman's arrows. If you fire them into something like Alpha's claws or Kingman's chest pieces for example, the shots will be nullified and your Bubbleman chip will end up doing 0 damage. Keep that in mind whenever you're trying to use this folder. The other chips in the folder are my usual ones. The folder can contain Invis, Pop-Up, or Barrier as defensive options, all of which come in a star code. I also of course throw in the Fast Gauge and Full Cust chips to get to my custom window as quickly as possible. Lastly, for Giga Chip, depends on the version you're playing. In white version, I would go with Navi Recycle, whereas in blue version, Folder Back is a strong option. Alternatively, you can throw in the Bubbleman V5 chip, although it's not really necessary in my opinion. You can also use chips like Beastman or Bubbleman, but again, we're really focusing on Bubbleman here. With all the important chips out of the way, the remainder of your folder is honestly filler chips, except for 4 that make up a Program Advance, 2 times Hero. This Program Advance is made by combining the Slasher, Custom Sword, and Variable Sword chips alongside one of the Proto-Man chips. There really isn't much else to say about these chips. 2 times Hero is just a great Program Advance that hits all panels on the enemy field, and does a good amount of damage as well. Plus, it's in the same chip code as Bubbleman, so why not throw it into the folder? Other great chips you can try out that come in the B code include Spice, which is especially useful if you have the Grass Stage chip or the Set Green program in your Navicust, or Shake 2. The latter chip is especially effective at dealing with Alpha or with Flame Man's candles in his bad column. Here's some footage of this folder in action. That's it for this amazing Bubbleman folder. I know it can be tough to fight Bubbleman repeatedly to get his chips, especially getting his V4 chip by beating him in under 20 seconds, but the payoff is absolutely worth it, believe me. And don't worry, if you struggle with fighting Bubbleman, I'll have a solution for that in my next Folder Decoder video, so make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on that folder. I'm also starting to branch out into Pokemon content, so keep an eye out if you want to watch the worst Nuzlocker of all time actually try to win a Nuzlocke challenge for once. And as always, thanks for watching.